Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about, is the Walking Dead television series getting better over time, over the seasons, or worse? Okay, so this is another good one, viewer requested topic. People kind of wanted to hear my thoughts on this one. I wanted to weigh in on it as well too, because this is an interesting one, and that is that overall, as the seasons go by for The Walking Dead, is it getting better or is the show getting worse? Well, I want to start off by saying that the views or the ratings for the series has just increased every year. So in terms of the fan base has grown every year. Even if they kill a character, even if, between different story arcs like season 2 with the Shane thing, season 1 with the whole, okay, we're in a zombie apocalypse, and you've got basically just the introduction into what that's like with just getting to know our characters for the first time, all of our characters, all of our cast, losing a good amount of characters and going forward from there to into the governor stuff, through the governor stuff, and now on the other side with the whole Terminus thing with Joe's group, with sort of the post-governor, what we become type storyline afterwards. So in the grand scheme of things, is the series getting better, getting worse? Personally, I feel like the show has gotten better since it started. Now, the thing about it is the first season only had 6 episodes, of course, so it was a small amount. So yeah, they could make sure those 6 episodes are really well done. They could concentrate a lot on them. They could make sure they were fantastic. When they moved up in the second season to 13 episodes, I think we kind of got a taste of how it's difficult to maintain that same kind of quality for each individual episode over the course of a longer planned season. It's a lot harder. You've got more than double the amount of episodes. You don't want to have filler, but I feel like some of the episodes in season 2 were a little slow. Some of them were fantastic, and others, you have like Chupacabra, which it wasn't terrible. You have Secrets in there. You have Cherokee Rose. There's some pretty slower episodes in season 2 here and there. So I think that when they moved up the amount of episodes, the quality did decrease a little bit because of that, because they had to space it out, especially because the budget was smaller. Season 3, they kind of turned that around. It seems like they put a lot more budget in, and to me personally, it didn't feel like there was a lot of wasted time. It felt like everything was used pretty well. Season 4, I mean, it's kind of a mix. You have the before or before Too Far Gone sort of side of it, which is like the ending of the governor stuff, which has a few little slow parts here and there, but overall I think the amount of zombies, the effects, the tank and the battle at the prison and everything, they kind of upped it. And then the second half of season 4, of course, is a different time period. So I think with the show, it maybe certain parts cater to some people more than others. Like I've said before on my channel when I did my review of the whole series, and I talked about season versus season, my favorite season, you guys will know if you've seen those videos that season 3 is my favorite, but that's because I'm that type of fan that loves to see big action, group versus group type stuff. So it kind of depends what the viewer is looking for. But generally, I would have to say that I think as we go through the series, viewers would get more and more connected with certain characters in the show. As time goes on, we're going to get more connected to Rick, I think, not less. We're going to care for Rick more as time goes on throughout the series, not less. Same with the others that survive. Same with Daryl. Same with all the other cast. The more time we see them, the more we're going to care about them. And then, of course, as some are killed off here and there, keeps the excitement and it keeps people coming back to see more. So personally, I think the show overall, I would much rather have 16 episode seasons, even if a few episodes here and there are a little bit slower versus only having 6. So from that standpoint, for me, I think the show has gotten better. Now, I have heard some people say that they like the show more earlier on, like their favorite seasons were season 1, season 2, and then since then they don't like it as much. It depends what kind of storytelling you like. If you don't like seeing a versus type situation where you have like a couple groups fighting over territory, fighting over supplies, and why that makes sense for that world, then you might not like some of the later stuff in The Walking Dead because we get more into that. Things become bigger scale. The group, gets bigger with the prison and then goes down again. And later on too, I'm sure the group's going to get bigger again. You'll have a more bigger community with some bigger battles and stuff like that. So I personally think as time goes on in The Walking Dead, the series just gets better and better as it goes. But there are ups and downs. You're going to have differences. Like the second half of season 4, a lot of people, it wasn't their favorite. But, you don't want to have it repetitive. You can't always have it the same thing. At some point, the governor has to lose and die. Or Rick's group has it. Someone's got to lose and die, and then we got to go forward from there. Versus just having the same thing over and over again, which would be repetitive, and after a couple seasons would be really boring. So you kind of have to have those differences of ups and downs and different, types of story arcs and different things occurring, different locations and different things happening. Otherwise, the show will get worse, people will get bored of it, and people will stop watching. The comic book series is a good example of this. I feel like the comic book series has, for the most part, gotten better. There are some highlights throughout it, like the death of Laurie at the end of the prison battle with the governor is, like the best issue 48 I mentioned, like my favorite issue ever. Another video I did on that one. So there's going to be highlights and parts that are your favorite. But overall, the series, I think it just grows and it just gets better and better over time. But that's my opinion. Some people, I have heard of a number of people saying they're going to stop watching, whatever the case may be, because I get a lot of comments on YouTube. I don't read them all, but I go through a good number of them. I try my best to kind of have a general idea. And there are some people that kind of drop off and say they don't like it, that kind of thing. Could be because the character they like is killed off, or it could be, a type of story, this kind of thing that we're going through at that time. But I think overall, to answer the question very simply, I think the show's getting bigger, it's getting better, it's getting more views. I think they're putting more money into it. If you look at, the things they've been able to do, season 3 and 4, I'd say that the budget must have increased from season 2, where they were just stuck on this farm, and it was just kind of fighting amongst the group, versus all the stuff we're seeing now is pretty incredible. Some of the effects, some of the how grandiose it is with the amount of zombies and everything. Pretty amazing, I would have to say. But it depends too on what people like. If some people don't like zombie movies, The Walking Dead is so special because it's basically a zombie movie that doesn't end after 2 hours, and we get to see characters actually live like their lives, like live normally how they would in a zombie apocalypse, normal for them over the long term. That to me is, what makes it so amazing, because I love zombie movies, and it's the one that doesn't end after, an hour or two, right? So as that goes on, getting to see that over the long term, even to the point where they're addressing things like growing food and all these different things, the psychology of different groups and everything, I feel personally like it just gets better as it goes, basically, for the most part. At least so far. But we'll have to see, how long the show goes for, how long the comic book series goes for, and where they go with them. But I would have to say, as time goes on, I think they just get better and better. The show gets better and better, even though there are high points, low points, that kind of thing. So let me know what you guys think about that, what your favorite, part of The Walking Dead is, and whether or not you're more interested in the series now, or you were when it first started and you kind of burned out. Or is there anybody who's kind of not really liking the series at all and going to stop watching? Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trav. As always, saying peace.